Hi there, I'm Renee and you're watching Movie Juice on TV. So let's start with a film that began as a TV series. Sex and the City lands on big screens from this week. Now it's rated MA for sexual content, graphic nudity and language. So you'd think that'd get the guys in. But instead, this is turning out to be an even bigger chick flick than Bridget Jones's Boring Diary. Now I loved Sex and the City on TV, but can it work as a movie? Dunno. Our US correspondent Sal Morgan got the guff from the girls in London.
After years of living in the city, I assumed that if my friends and I ever got our fairy tale endings, that would be the end of the story. Hello.
Welcome home, baby.
Was it always your intention to make a movie? Because the TV show really did wrap things up.
I don't know that it was always our intention, but obviously there had been a time and we had discussed the idea, and I think just somewhere in the recesses of my mind, this seed had been planted, and 2 years ago, I just had an instinct we should revisit it again, and lo and behold, miraculously enough, here we are today. It's just been incredible.
People asked me all the time, would Carrie and Mr. Big ever get married? And I thought it was interesting, and it was the very first thrust I had for what the movie could be, that people would think in such traditional terms for such untraditional characters.
We decided to get married. And I'm deaf.
And the idea that each of these girls had moved along for 4 years, it's a great storytelling arc, because you have Samantha, who has literally moved to Los Angeles and is sort of conquering the world there, as every pushy blonde from New York eventually does.
You know me. I don't really believe in marriage. Now, Botox, on the other hand, that works every time.
Samantha's still in a monogamous relationship, but it's getting a little tough. Monogamy and Samantha don't usually go together.
Then you have, Charlotte, who's moved into motherhood and an evolution of her adopted daughter.
I'm pregnant.
Oh my God.
She was always so concerned with trying to succeed and get her goals, and now she kind of has them, and I think she's a little calmer and settled down and a little bit more able to focus on her friend and what's going on with them.
Miranda, who's moved even further up the corporate ladder at work as a lawyer, but still has a 5-year-old.
It didn't mean anything. It just happened once.
But my will gets...
Miranda has had her faith tested before, and men in her life have disappointed her, but I think she goes to a darker, more painful place than she ever did on the series.
And then Carrie, who's moved into the space where she's actually totally happy.
For now, can't you just stop worrying for me and go ahead and feel what I want you to feel? Jealous.
Every time we stepped outside of our trailer, there was paparazzi there. And, they wanted the first shot of the 4 of us together, the shot of Charlotte's, the shot of the wedding dress, on and on and on.
We kind of went through this phase where we tried to talk about fantasy sequences and whatever, and then we just kind of surrendered.
And Cinderella and the prince lived happily ever after. You know that this is just a fairy tale, right, sweetheart? And things don't always happen like this in real life. I just think you should know that now.
We really wanted to give them everything that we thought they wanted, and everything they maybe didn't know they wanted.
The fear was always, will it be as good as the series? And, there's always a fear, have you stayed too long? And I hope that they'll want more and want us to come back.
Life doesn't always turn out to be your fantasy. That's why you need friendships that are real to get you through it all.
So if you want all the Sex and the City that you can handle, get your hands on this, the Ultimate Collection. There are 3 to be won worth $220 each. You'll get every episode and loads of extras, all packed into a box that looks like a wardrobe, all thanks to Paramount Home Entertainment.
Hello, lover.
Here's how to be in the running to score one. Go to moviejuice.com.au and check out my blog while you're there. Then click on freebies, enter your details and tell us in 25 words or less. If you would be decked out in your favourite fashion designer, who would it be and what would you wear? The sequel to The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe is called The Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian. He's the newest character in the franchise, and he looks a lot like a young Keanu Reeves to me. Anyway, he hooks up with the kids to get put back on his rightful throne. The main guys in the movie came to Australia to tell me what fun they had making number 2.
happened here?
You may find Narnia a more savage place than you remember.
How have the children changed from the first film to this film?
They've all grown up. I met, I think, Georgie when she was 7. She's now 12. William was 15. He's now 21. So the kids have definitely grown up. And I think I've really tried to let the characters grow up with the kids. And in some ways, the whole movie's grown up with it.
So this one, my character's kind of more of an anti-hero, you know, and I really want to get in touch with all those kind of emotional problems with the character and his struggles. So I actually worked with an acting coach for 3.5 months prior to shooting. What I learned on this film, it's just been unbelievable, you know. I really feel like I can take those tools from Narnia into my next acting project, whatever that may be.
Prince Caspian? And who are you?
Peter!
Hi, King Peter. I believe you called.
You're the newest member of the cast. What was it like welcoming him into the Narnia family?
Well, we didn't actually welcome him in. No, we did.
When we were casting for Caspian, I was searching for quite a long time and almost felt like I was going to have to change the name of the film because we hadn't found him. But when Ben was sent to me on tape, I was very impressed with him. And then when I met him, I realized that he would slot in, and the kids were very welcoming.
I was kind of cynical about it. I watched all the DVD extras on the first one, The Lion, the Witch and Wardrobe, and you watch that Georgie giving an interview, and she's like, "Oh yeah, Will's like my big brother, and I really love him," and you just think this is so Disneyfied. This is just Disney feeding them answers. There was nothing like this. They must hate each other. I'm loathing this. And then I got there, and it's exactly like that.
Where are you?
Choose your last words carefully.
You are a mouse.
I was hoping for something a little more original.
Out of all the critters and the animated critters in the film, who are your favourites?
I really like Reaper Cheap because Eddie Izzard is one of my favourite. So, you know, to film these scenes when I was there with a piece of wire on the end of a pole, you know, and kind of trying to suspend my disbelief enough to imagine I'm talking to a mouse. And then when I finally see it and it's Eddie Izzard's voice coming out of it and he's changed all the lines because he's thought of funnier ones, you know, it's fantastic, really rewarding, it's great.
Now, when it comes to the amount of time it takes to make a film like this, how many years would you say has gone into realising Prince Caspian, the film?
For me, it started a few weeks after I finished the last one, so from the writing phase, so it's been about 2.5 years.
So you've been living in Narnia?
Nearly 6 years, yeah.
To celebrate the release of the Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian in cinemas, we have 50 double passes to give away, all thanks to our friends at Walt Disney Pictures. Enter now online at moviejuice.com.au. After much anticipation, it's finally begun. The best ever Sydney Film Festival is on, with 12 gala premieres, heaps of eager stars, and one very fabulous Alicia Malone, who grabbed the primo spot on the red carpet to bring you the very best of opening night.
Why do you think festivals like these are important for the industry?
Because, I mean, it proliferates what's going on in the industry. It brings a whole lot of films out that wouldn't be seen generally by the public.
I'm always a fan of the festival. I've come here for years in a row just as a paying, person to come in, and I loved it.
Tonight's film is Mike Leigh's Happy Go Lucky. Are you a fan of his work?
Yes, I'm a huge fan of Mike Leigh. I'm sorry he couldn't be here tonight.
It's got a good title for this kind of night.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled to see this film. I would come rain, hail or shine, and it's definitely raining and hailing at the moment.
I mean, that's one of the great things about us being included in this competition for me, is being included in a selection of films that he's in.
How excited are you to be involved with the film that is opening the Sydney Film Festival?
Oh, it's so exciting. I think I'm going to burst, which I might very well do out of this dress.
And have you thought of how you would spend that cash if you won it?
No, not at all. I haven't finished my film yet. My only focus is to make sure that I deliver something to the Sydney Film Festival by Sunday.
Well, that's it for Movie Juice, and that's it from me. I'll see you next time.